Good evening. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, tournament season still going pretty hard. We just finished up a tournament not too long ago, and now getting ready to start another tournament, and there's even another tournament further ahead that's going to be starting up as well. So we're going to be talking a few pro wrestling tournaments. So here's what we're going to do. Going to go over the final overall results for the 13th Goddess of Stardom Tag League and go over the finals and the winner. I'm also going to talk a little bit about the current Stardom injury list. It has gotten quite big. Also gonna talk a little bit about the AEW Continental Classic that was just announced not too long ago. They're still putting that together. And then gonna talk about the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag League 2023 that's getting ready to start up next Monday, and the official teams have been announced. So yeah, got quite a bit to go over. But before we get started, I have to do this. I want to give a special shout out to the new Queen of JTO champion, Aoi. My girl, Aoi. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. As of November 10th, she has defeated and dethroned you to become the new Queen of JTO champion. Her first championship in her pro wrestling career, ladies and gentlemen. At 21 years of age, she has won her first championship in her pro wrestling career. And hey, what can I say? Can't go any better than one of the main championships for the ladies in her promotion, JTO, Just Tap Out. So congratulations to Aoi. Definitely has become, one of my favorite Joshis. Young, on the up and coming, and really, ever since the last Great Show, she has been on a roll. Been on a nice win streak. And sure enough, she was able to dethrone you to become the new Queen of JTO champion. So I am looking forward to her title reign. I wish they would stream this stuff. That's the only thing about JTO. They don't have a streaming service, so it's such a bummer because I would love to see the actual match. But still, posted on her social media. That's how I got the news. So once again, congratulations to Aoi. Just look at me on becoming the new Queen of JTO champion. And I think it's pretty impressive. I would love to see how she was able to defeat you, who was pretty much like twice her size. But yeah, that's huge for Aoi. And I know she's also been part of Skiban as well as Midnight Player. And I hope she gets booked more in the U.S. So I would love to see her get booked more at Skiban, maybe Spark Joshi, hopefully DPW, Deadlock Pro Wrestling, where I'm from. That would be really cool. But I really believe that this makes her stock rise a big amount. And like I said, Young has a lot of years ahead of her, but it's just good to see her finally win her first championship. And, like I said, I'm a big fan. And I hope she has a good, long title run. Hope that she continues to get built up strong, continue to win matches, get some title defenses. And yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm very happy for her. So once again, congratulations to Aoi on becoming the new Queen of JTO champion. You should enjoy all the Dr. Pepper that you want. And if you ever get booked for a DPW show here in the Carolinas, I would love to bring you a good, maybe 1 or 2 packs of Dr. Pepper. Just for you. Just for you. So, congratulations, Aoi. Okay. Let's go into these final results of the 13th Goddess of Stardom Tag League. Alright. Here we go. Here, let me get a sip of water and we'll get started. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back through everything, just one last walkthrough, and then I'll go over the finals. Okay, Red Goddess block. The final results here. Finishing at the bottom with a record of 1-5 is Maximum and Mini, which is made up of Saya Ida and Hanako. They only had the 1 victory over XL, big upset there. But she had 5 losses to Mafia Bella, Concave NX Con Convex, Crazy Star, Moonlight Venus, and Prominence. So, got a big upset over XL, but overall did pretty bad in this tournament, but I am not surprised. Okay, so we had 2 teams. One second. So we had 2 teams that finished with 4 points apiece on a record of 2-4. Both are 2-4, and that's Concave NX Con Convex and Moonlight Venus. Let's take a look at Moonlight Venus first. Moonlight Venus, that's Waka Tsukiyama and Mina Shirakawa. They had the 2 victories over XL and Maximum Mini, but the 4 losses were to Prominence, Crazy Star, Concave NX Con Convex, and Mafia Bella. And, the win over XL was pretty big because that ended up being spoiler for XL. So, definitely a big win there. But definitely struggled in this tournament, for sure. And then Concave NX Con Convex, that is Shuri and Saki Kashima. Their 2 wins were over Maximum Mini and Moonlight Venus. Their 4 losses were against XL, Prominence, Mafia Bella, and they had the 1 forfeit to Crazy Star. So, rough tournament for them as well, but not surprised that both of these teams finished in the bottom 2, at the bottom, but also low record. That's what I meant to say. So, it's a bummer. Okay, we had 1 team that finished with a record of 3-2-1 with 7 points, and that is Mafia Bella, which is Tekla and Julia. Let's take a look at them. They had the 3 victories over Concave NX Con Convex, Maximum Mini, and Moonlight Venus, 2 losses to XL and Crazy Star, and the 1 draw with Prominence. So those were 2 big losses to XL and Crazy Star, who were top teams in this block. So, thankfully they got 3 wins. But I think those 2 losses definitely hurt them, especially against those strong teams. But overall, not that bad of a tournament for Mafia Bella. Alrighty. We got two teams that finished with 8 points apiece, which were Prominence and Moonlight Venus. Let's take a look at Prominence first. So Prominence, which is Risa Sera and Kurumi Hiragi, they had 3 victories over Concave NX Convex, Maximum Mini, and Moonlight Venus. They had the 1 loss to XL and the 2 draws with Crazy Star and Mafia Bella. Now, Prominence definitely still had a shot going into the final round, but they really needed that win over Mafia Bella, and they weren't able to get it. It resulted in a draw. So, unfortunately, that resulted in 8 points. So, they weren't able to be in a position to qualify, because they would have to have won that match, and then XL would have had to have lost their match, and then they would have had to have a playoff with Crazy Star. So it was a difficult scenario for Prominence, but they came close. They definitely came close. But still had a great tournament for the most part. I mean, they only had 1 loss. So not bad. And then XL, which is Momo Watanabe, Natsuko Tora, they finished with a record of 4-2. They had victories over Mafia Bella, Concave NX Convex, Crazy Star, and Prominence. And their 2 losses were to the two of the weak teams, Maximum Mini and Moonlight Venus, who played spoiler, because they were 1 win away. All they had to do was win and they were in. But Moonlight Venus messed that up, and therefore they were eliminated. But XL, very strong finish, or very strong record overall, but the unfortunate finish. And then sitting at the top of the red block that ended up winning the Red Goddess block on a final record of 4-1-1 was Crazy Star. Crazy Star, which is Suzu Suzuki and Mei Seira. So they had victories over Mafia Bella, Maximum Mini, Moonlight Venus, and then they had the forfeit victory over Concave NX Convex. They had the 1 loss to They had the 1 loss to XL and the 1 draw with Prominence. But overall, definitely was the strongest team, and it showed. I mean, you had the combination of high-speed champion Mei Seira and this year's 5-star Grand Prix winner Suzu Suzuki. But with their 9 points, they punched their ticket to the finals of the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So, great finish for them to win the red block, the Red Goddess block. So, they made their way into the finals. And then Blue Goddess block, we'll go back over this one more time. Blue Goddess block, it came down to this. Sitting at the bottom with no points at all, on a 0-6 record of all forfeits, unfortunately, was Cosmic Angels, Tam Nakano, and Yuna Mizumori, of course, due to Tam Nakano's knee injury. So they didn't even get to wrestle a single match in this tournament. So really, really unfortunate that it had to end that way before they even got started. So it just really sucks to see, because injuries are never cool. Okay, we had 1 team finish with a final record of 1-5, and unfortunately, it had to be the team that I was rooting for to win the blue block. And that is Fukuoka Double Crazy, which is Hazuki and Koguma. They only won the first match that they had, which was over eye contact, but then they had losses to Mirai Saku, O2 Line, and they had to forfeit against Divine Kingdom, Cosmic Angels, and Reiwa Tokyo Towers. Which, you know, the forfeit with Cosmic Angels, that was a double forfeit. So, yeah, I mean, they got the one win and then just things fell apart for them. But speedy recovery for Koguma. Okay, we had two teams that finished with a record of 3-3 and 6 points each, which are Reiwa Tokyo Towers and O2 Line. Let's take a look at Reiwa Tokyo Towers. That's Amisore and Lady C. They had 3 victories. Well, they had the one victory over eye contact. That was a big upset. 2 forfeit victories over Fukuoka Double Crazy and Cosmic Angels. But they had losses to Divine Kingdom, Mirai Saku, and then the forfeit to O2 Line due to Lady C's illness. So, to be real with y'all, they've really only won, like physically won one match in this entire tournament, which was the upset over eye contact. So, they really could not get going as well. But I wasn't really a fan of the combination of Lady C and Amisore, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. And then O2 Line, which is Azumi and Miyu Amasaki, their victories were over Fukuoka Double Crazy, and they had the 2 forfeit wins over Reiwa Tokyo Towers and Cosmic Angels. And then the 3 losses to Divine Kingdom, Eye Contact, and Mirai Saku. So, once again, O2 Line really only physically won one match this entire tournament. So, it really remains to be seen what would have happened if they actually had matches with Reiwa Tokyo Towers and Cosmic Angels. But we'll never know, because the tournament's over now. But it is what it is. Okay, you had 2 teams tied at 8 points apiece with final records of 4-2, which were Eye Contact and Mirai Saku. Let's take a look at Mirai Saku, which is Mirai and Mai Sakurai. They had the 4 victories over Fukuoka Double Crazy, O2 Line, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and then had the forfeit over Cosmic Angels. And then their 2 losses were to Eye Contact and Divine Kingdom. But overall, they had a pretty decent tournament. Came close to winning the Blue Goddess block. They definitely had a chance. Definitely had a chance. And then Eye Contact, which is Mayu Iwatani and Hanan, they came really close as well. They had victories over Divine Kingdom, Mirai Saku, O2 Line, and then the forfeit over Cosmic Angels. Their 2 losses were to Fukuoka Double Crazy and Reiwa Tokyo Towers. So, really tough loss to Fukuoka Double Crazy, and quite a bummer dropping to Reiwa Tokyo Towers. And they came close as well. But there was one team that ended up doing better than every one of them. And they ended up finishing the Blue Goddess block with a final record of 5-1, 10 points total. And that is Divine Kingdom, which is Micah and Megan Bain. So they had 5 wins over Mirai Saku, O2 Line, Reiwa Tokyo Towers, and had the 2 forfeit victories over Cosmic Angels and Fukuoka Double Crazy. The 1 loss that they had was against Eye Contact. So overall, looked really strong in this tournament. Definitely punched their ticket to the finals. So, with that being said, the finals ended up coming down to a Crazy Star from the Red Goddess block versus Divine Kingdom of the Blue Goddess block. And it was a great match. It was definitely a great match between both of these teams. Both of these teams definitely showed why they deserve to be in the finals, for sure. And it was really close. But Micah and Megan Bayne were able to really put a hurting on May Sarah. And then Micah pretty much finished off May Sarah with a Michinoku Driver 2 and pinned her for the 1-2-3. And ladies and gentlemen, Divine Kingdom of Megan Bayne and Micah are your winners of the 13th Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So they got their tournament rings. And yeah, congratulations to Micah and Megan Bayne. So Micah got a little bit of revenge because when you think about it, she lost to Suzu Suzuki in the finals of the 5-Star Grand Prix. But then she bounces back, defeats her and May Sarah with Megan Bayne in the 13th Goddess of Stardom Tag League finals to win the tournament. So she got some revenge. So, can't be too surprised that it ended up being that way. Can't be too surprised. But, good for Megan Bayne and Micah. Megan Bayne hadn't been in Stardom for too long. And, a lot of her matches have been tag team and trios matches. And I think a battle royal here or there. She's only really had one singles match, which was the red belt title shot against Tam Nakano that she wasn't able to win. So, Megan Bayne's been doing her thing in tag team competition, and sure enough, her and Micah win the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So, now that that tournament's over, the only thing that I wonder is what's going to happen, because Saori Anou and Natsupoi are the Goddess of Stardom tag team champions, but Natsupoi is out with an injury. So there's no telling when Divine Kingdom will get their title shot. But I think it's safe to say that they are at least owed a title shot. They're definitely owed a title shot for winning this tournament. But speaking of injuries, I wanted to transition into this next part. But Stardom has been hit really hard with the injury bug, y'all. And it doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, it seems. Now, this might have changed by now or within the next day or so. But so far, I have 11 ladies on this list. 11. So check it out. So, of course, we got Saya Kamitani, who's dealing with the dislocated elbow. No telling when she's going to be back. Honestly, she's probably not going to be back until probably 2024, to be honest with you. So, there's no telling when she'll be back. But, she got injured in her first match of the 5-Star Grand Prix. So, she's going to be out a hot minute. Tam Nakano, who had the knee injury, and it's been said that she, the title match she was supposed to have with Suzu Suzuki at Stardom Gold Rush this upcoming Saturday has been canceled. And there's no timetable on when Tam Nakano is going to be able to compete again. But makes you wonder if they're going to keep the title on her, and hopefully she'll be able to defend it perhaps at Stardom Dream Queendom on December 29th. If not, then I hate to say it, y'all, she might have to relinquish the World of Stardom Championship. You know? I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that's a possibility. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll probably, hopefully, find out more information after Stardom Gold Rush to see what Tam Nakano's status is going to be as it gets closer to December. Momo Kohgo, which Momo Kohgo has been out for a while. I don't even remember the last match Momo Kohgo wrestled. It's been a hot minute. You know what? Let me find out. Because it's been a while. If I remember correctly. According to Cage Match, she hasn't had a match. The last match that she's had was September 10th at the Stardom Dream Tag Festival. Yeah, that was the last match she's had according to Cage Match, and that was September 10th. So yeah, she's been out for a while, but hopefully she comes back soon. I've seen some of her Instagram posts and whatnot that she's doing some training and conditioning, so she's probably on her way back. But as of now, her status is injured. So, Aya Sakura. Aya Sakura has been out for a long while as well, which I know she's one of the rookies, but Aya Sakura hasn't had a match since July 8th, according to Cage Match. July 8th was her last match, which was a tag team match. So hopefully she'll return soon, but I don't really know what her status is, but hopefully she returns soon. Utami Hayashishita, of course, has the hernia. I think it was a cervical hernia. Yeah, I mean, leader of Queen's Quest. And when you think about it, that's 2 members of Queen's Quest down. You know, because you got Saya Kamitani and Utami Hayashishita. So that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt quite a bit. But I'm not so sure if Utami will even be back by the end of the year. She's probably another one that probably won't be back until 2024, but we'll see. Natsupoi. She has the same injury as Utami, that cervical hernia. So, you know, that's another member of Cosmic Angels down. And also one half of the Goddess of Stardom Tag Team Champions. So, no telling on when she's going to be back, but she has the same injury as Utami. So, Hanan of Stars. She has the appendicitis. I believe that's what she's dealing with. So I don't know how long that's going to keep her out, but she's one half of the New Blood Tag Team Champions with Saya Ida. So, and you got New Blood West coming up this Friday. So unfortunately she won't be able to participate in that show, it seems. But which I thought she was on the card. Wait, she is on the card. Oh, hopefully she'll be good to go for that, because she's supposed to go up against May Sarah. That's right. She's supposed to go up against May Sarah. Yeah. So hopefully she'll be good to go for that, because she has to face her at New Blood West. But we'll see. We shall see. Koguma. Of course, Koguma got injured during the 5-star Grand Prix. And unfortunately, that made her and Hazuki had to forfeit the rest of the tournament. Not sure. I don't remember exactly what her injury was, but I'm not even so sure if Koguma is going to be back before the end of this year. Maybe. But the word is that she's taking time away to help with the recovery. Like, just to be safe. So maybe her injury isn't as crazy serious as the others, but it's taking a precaution by going ahead and taking the time away, get the extra recovery. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she'll be back before the end of this year, but, this year's almost over, so we'll see. Saki Kashima. Saki Kashima got injured almost near the end of the Goddess of Stardom Tag League. So, unfortunately, they had to forfeit that final match against Crazy Star. So, hopefully Saki Kashima returns soon. But it's another one down. And then just recently, Waka Tsukiyama, who is dealing with a hernia. Waka's going to be taking some extended time off. And then Mayu Iwatani, who has a dislocated pinky that has to miss Stardom Gold Rush coming up. Now, hopefully it won't take too long for her to come back because, she's the IWGP Women's Champion. But, yeah, y'all, that's 11 ladies right there. Now, I know I didn't mention Starlight Kid because she actually is getting ready to return at Stardom Gold Rush. So she's about to come off the injured list. So that's the only reason why I didn't mention Starlight Kid. So she's about to be back and in good health. But yeah, and honestly, I feel bad for Mina Shirakawa because right now she's alone. She's alone because Waka's injured, part of Club Venus. Waka's injured. Mariah May left and went to AEW. Zaya Brookside, gone. Xena, gone. Jessie, gone. So right now it's just Mina Shirakawa all by herself. Club Venus. It's kind of a bummer. It's kind of a bummer. But this is a pretty serious problem. I know Stardom has a pretty good sized roster, but that's a lot of names. 11? That's a lot of names. Let's keep it real. That's a lot of names. Now, I know it's almost the end of the year. I know they got a couple of events coming up. Because, you got Stardom New Blood West 1. That's this Friday. Gold Rush 2023 is this Saturday. They have the Stardom Nagoya Big Winter Show December 2nd. And then Stardom in Wakayama December 3rd. And then Dream Queendom 2023, that's December 29th. And we're talking about, the big shows. And then they start back up the beginning of the year, January 3rd, the Tokyo Dome City Hall show. So, honestly, Now, I know this year they debuted the Triangle Derby, which Prominence ended up winning. But to be honest with y'all, I think they should skip it for next year. Especially if they do it around January. Because if I remember correctly, that's when the Triangle Derby happened this year. Let me check to make sure. Yeah, it was January 3rd to March 4th. So, honestly, they should probably skip it. They should probably skip it next year. The only thing, unless they want to move it to a much later date, I really think they should skip it. I think they should skip it because, I'm sorry, when you have 11 ladies out for the foreseeable future, to a degree, it's going to be hard to have a trios tournament with everybody. It's going to be hard to have a trios tournament. So, I think for next year, if they still want to do the Cinderella tournament, 5-star Grand Prix, Goddess of Stardom Tag League, sure. Normally, I would say Triangle Derby should be fine. You know, four big tournaments. But honestly, with how injuries have piled up this year, I think they should sacrifice one tournament and just do 3 next year. I really think they should strongly consider that. I mean, because, Triangle Derby, Cinderella Tournament, 5-star Grand Prix, Goddess of Stardom Tag League, all this year, that's a lot. That's a lot. And I know that's, typically the same number or a similar number to New Japan Pro Wrestling's tournament. But I feel like the scheduling is much different between the two promotions. So I just really feel like they should sacrifice a tournament. And just don't do the Triangle Derby next year. That's my thoughts. I think these ladies need some time, like, to really recuperate. They got to do a better job. And especially, if you ask me, after finishing up tournaments, they should really get some extended time off. They really should. So, that's just my 2 cents. But speedy recovery to all of the ladies that I mentioned. It's just unfortunate how badly the injury bug has hit the Stardom roster. But speedy recovery for everyone, and hopefully they get back to 100% ASAP. That's all I can really say. So, before we get into the World Tag League tournament teams, here's a quick word on the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves Limited Edition Makeup Collection. also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty, now it's time to go over the announced teams for this year's New Japan Pro Wrestling World Tag League. Now, they're going to do something different from what they did with the Super Junior Tag League, because this time they are actually doing 2 blocks. They're doing an A block and a B block. So, of course, with the Super Junior Tag League, they did 1 block, but they had the top 2, with the top score, the top 2 with the most points were the finalists. But with the World Tag League, they're doing 2 blocks. So they're doing the 2 block system again. But 8 teams on each block. So let's go ahead and start going through the teams, starting with Block A. Here we go. All right. Making their debut as a team for this tournament, we have Shota Umino and Ren Narita. Now, of course, these two have quite a mutual respect for each other, even after feuding with each other for quite a bit. And it seems that, hey, they're on the same page now. They've shook hands. And hey, let's team up for this tournament. So here we go. We'll have to see how this goes. I mean, hopefully there will be good chemistry and they can get on the same page for this tournament. But yeah, very curious to see how this team will do. Okay. Let's move on to the next team. All right, making their 4th entry, their first time in 3 years teaming up for this tournament. It is Chaos, made up of Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Of course, Tomohiro Ishii is 1/3 of the current Never Openweight 6-man tag team champions. I mean, it's an interesting combo, if you ask me. It's an interesting combination. But, I mean, one is into wild tactics and shenanigans. The other one is into sheer power and brute force. So, should be an interesting combo. That's really all I can say. That's really all I can say. Yeah. Anyway, next team. United Empires, Great Okan and HENARE, making their 3rd entry and 3rd consecutive together as a team. I think this team could definitely make a splash. I don't know how big of a splash, but I think they could make a splash. Apparently, they finished 7-4 in 2021 and 5-4 in 2022. So, you know, they could do a little something. Might end up doing better this year. I don't know, but it's not like they're a trash combination. So I mean, hey, You know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But definitely, I feel like they're a team to keep an eye on in the A block for sure. Definitely for sure. All right, let's go to the next team. All right, we're going to see some TMDK representation in this tournament as Shane Haste and Mikey Nicholls will make their second consecutive tournament entry. This is a team that I feel is on the up and coming. They just haven't been able to get over the hurdle when it means the most. But this could be the tournament that changes that. I mean, because they're a good team. They've teamed up together for a long time. So on paper, they're a great team. And I feel like they're a strong part of TMDK. But they're one of the top teams that have yet to really win any sort of tag team gold. And maybe this is the tournament that can help propel them to that. But they're a pretty strong team, if you ask me. I think they're a pretty strong team. But we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I do like them. I do definitely like Shane Haste, Mikey Nicholls. All right, next up, we have former NJPW Strong Tag Team Champions, Bullet Club War Dogs, Alex Coughlin and Gabe Kidd, making their second entry and second consecutive into this tournament. I mean, as I said, they are former NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions. So, I mean, definitely can't sleep on them. But I expect them to bounce back strong and make a little bit of a splash in this tournament. But definitely I would not underestimate them. Especially Gabe Kidd, who recently got a singles victory over Filthy Tom Lawler at Fighting Spirit Unleashed. That was kind of a big deal. So, definitely a team to keep an eye on. All right, let's look at the next team. Oh, Lord. Here we go with this team of goobers. House of Torture, Evil, and Yujiro Takahashi make their fourth consecutive entry into this tournament. The only thing I will say is bump House of Torture, and I hope they don't come anywhere close to winning or even standing a chance in this tournament, period. That's all I really have to say. That's all I have to say. Next! We have a debut entry team of Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa. Of course, from Pro Wrestling Noah. Now, Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa had connected a while back and pretty much, if I remember correctly, pretty much invited Ryohei Oiwa as to kind of like an excursion into Pro Wrestling Noah. So that's really kind of how they've sort of bonded. And if I remember correctly, I think they had a GHC tag title shot at one point, but wasn't able to win, if I remember correctly. But interesting team for this tournament. Definitely a team to keep an eye out for. Now, of course, remember, Kaito Kiyomiya had participated in the G1 Climax this year. So, I mean, Now they got him in the World Tag League. We'll have to see if he can do a better job in this tournament. But, hey, pretty interesting team, if I may say so myself. And then the final team for the Block A. Checking them out. Check them out. We have the debuting Gates of Agony, made up of Bishop Khan and Toa Leona, who are the current 2/3 of the ROH 6-man tag team champions. So, taking a step outside of the promotion to grab a team that has been pretty dominant, especially for ROH. And they're making their debut entry into this year's World Tag League. I mean, they're a great combo. I mean, they've done well, not only in trios with Brian Cage, of course, but also as a tag team as well. So, I definitely expect this team to make a pretty decent sized splash into this tournament. Now, there's, other teams in this block that are going to be tough, but I think Gates of Agony, I think they're definitely going to be tested, and I think this is a good test for them. I really do. So, I hope they do pretty good. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, those are your teams for the A block. Now, let's get into the B block. And I have to say, the B block looks pretty interesting as well. So, all right, check it out. B block. So first up, we have the current IWGP Tag Team Champions, who were back-to-back winners of the 2021 and 2022 World Tag League tournaments, making their 5th entry and their 4th consecutive into this tournament, are Bishamon, made up of YOSHI-HASHI and my man, Hiroki Goto. First off, I have to say it's good to see that Hiroki Goto is pretty much cleared to be able to participate in this tournament. But yeah, I mean, what can I say? Bishamon is one of the best tag teams in the world. I mean, multiple time IWGP Tag Team Champions, won multiple World Tag League tournaments. I mean, this is literally one of the best tag teams in the world. I mean, their chemistry, YOSHI-HASHI and Hiroki Goto, has been just on fire. On fire. Not to mention, they won the tag titles at Wrestle Kingdoms. Yeah. So, I mean, not to mention, no team has ever won 3 World Tag Leagues. And they are in a great position where they could win a 3rd World Tag League. Especially in a row, because remember, they won it last year and the year before. The only thing is, now, if they win this tournament, they can call their shot on who they want to defend the tag titles against at Wrestle Kingdom. But definitely watch out for Bishamon. They're going to be tough to beat in this tournament. They're going to be very tough. They are as good as they are for a reason. So, just saying. Don't be surprised if they are the biggest threat in this tournament. So, we'll see. But I truly feel that they are the biggest threat, especially for the B block. But anyway, let's continue. Next team, we have the current NJPW Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions making their debut entry into this tournament. And that's Guerrillas of Destiny's Hikuleo and El Phantasmo. Now, of course, they're just coming off of their first successful defense of these titles at Lone Star Shootout. But, I mean, they've been working pretty well together. I mean, it does seem like kind of a random tag team, but they've been working pretty good together. You know? I don't know to what lengths this is going to turn out for it, but they've been working pretty well together. After all, they are the current champs. So, we'll have to see how they do in this tournament. It won't be easy, but we'll see how they do in this tournament. All right, let's look at the next team, and this is an interesting combination. Making their debut entry together as a team. I don't know how in the world we got to this point, but Yuji Nagata and Minoru Suzuki are teaming up for this World Tag League tournament. We are talking about two people that have hated the mess out of each other for like long, like ages. I mean, these two like hated each other's guts for the longest time. But yet, they put the past behind them, shook hands, and bam, they are now booked for the World Tag League as a competing tag team. But, oh, and I believe they came up with a name called Justice the King. I think that's their tag name, Justice the King, according to this description. But, I mean, there's a lot of experience on this tag team. So, they could be a threat. They could definitely be a threat. I mean, Yuji Nagata, Minoru Suzuki, who I've met both. I've met both of them. So, yeah. I'm actually looking forward to see how well this team does. And if they can have good chemistry. But we shall see. We shall see. It'll be interesting, that's for sure. All right. Let's take a look at the next team. Okay, we have here just 5 guys. These two making their debut entry as a tag team. Taichi and Heat Storm Yuya Uemura. I mean, to be honest, I'm not really too sure what to expect. I mean, this is a first time team up between these two. And Yuya Uemura just joined Just 5 Guys after returning from excursion in the U.S. I really don't have any sort of crazy expectations for this team, to be honest with you. So, I mean, could be strong, could be weak, could be kind of in the middle, but that's all I can really say, to be honest with you. But it is what it is. Just not sure what to expect out of this team. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. Okay, let's look at the next team. So, making their debut entry, which we still don't know the full details of, we got Yota Tsuji and Z. Now, the main thing The only details that we have, we don't know who Z is. The only details that we have are it's not an LIJ member or anything like that, but it's somebody that Yoda Tsuji had met during his excursion. So, word is that we're supposed to know this weekend who Z is. But I'm sure whoever it is will probably help make this team be a threat. Him and Yoda Tsuji. So, we'll see. But I guess we'll find out this weekend. Alright. Let's move on to the next team. And we got CMLL in the house. That's right. Making their debut entry into this tournament. We got the combo of Soberano Jr. and Atlantis Jr. from CMLL. I'm expecting quite a bit from these two. I mean, these two have been tag partners. These two have been opponents. Like, I think this team could be a sleeper. I'm not saying that they'll win the tournament, but I think they're going to do some damage in this tournament, hopefully. But it's good to see CMLL represented in this tournament. So, hey, I can dig that. I hope they do well. Definitely hope they do well. Okay, let's look at this next team, which I believe will also be a threat. All right, we got Monster Sauce making their debut entry into this tournament. Monster Sauce, which is Lance Archer and Alex Zane. Definitely a team that I really enjoy. I think this is a great combo. I've gotten to see both of these guys live before. I've met Lance Archer, and I've known Alex Zane since I first saw him in ROH. So he's definitely somebody that's made his splashes quite around in the indie circuit, you know, ROH, just all over the place, and quite the high flyer as well. But I definitely like Monster Sauce. I think they definitely have an opportunity to really do some damage in this tournament. But, you know, they're in a tough block. They're definitely in a tough block. So, we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. And then finally, the last team for the B block. This is an interesting one. We got Bullet Club Rogue Army making their debut, which is made up of the team of Bad Luck Fale and Jack Bonza. So, I'm not familiar with this Jack Bonza, but apparently they represent NJPW Tamashii, which that's mainly in, I think, Australia and New Zealand, or one of the two, or whatnot. So kind of a hybrid team here. But yeah, representation of the Bullet Club Rogue Army. So we'll see how this goes, but it's quite an interesting team here. Quite an interesting team. Now, let's see. Now, looking at the schedule. So, the tournament starts Monday, November 20th. The finals will be December 10th. Sunday, December 10th will be the finals. So, pretty much starting off week of Thanksgiving and then going into about early to almost mid-December. So definitely a lot to look forward to there. Now, as far as my predictions of who will make it out of the A block and the B block, to be honest, for the A block, it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard. The A block, I mean, the A block is probably the most interesting and the hardest to pick a winner from. I'll say this. Gates of Agony, while it would be nice, don't see it happening. Kaito Kiyomiya, Ryohei Oiwa would be interesting, but I don't see it happening. Evil, House of Torture, I definitely hope does not happen. Bullet Club War Dogs, probably not. TMDK, I think they have a small chance, but probably not. Great Okan and Aaron and HENARE, honestly, I think they got a good chance. Tomohiro Ishii, Toru Yano, probably not. Shota Umino, Ren Narita, I mean, not sure what their chemistry is like. But honestly, I probably have to say Great Okan and HENARE, especially considering they've come close in previous tournaments. Maybe this is the one they actually go to the finals. And then again, could be Shota Umino and Ren Narita as well. I mean, we don't know what their chemistry is like, so, I mean, hey. I mean, we've seen them as opponents multiple times, but it'll be interesting to see what their chemistry like as a team. But I'm going to say probably at the top of my list is Great Okan, Aaron HENARE of United Empire. Yeah. And then the B block. I mean, of course I'm going to be going for Bishamon. I mean, that's obvious. I'm going for Bishamon. But if not Bishamon, let's see. I definitely don't see it being Bullet Club Rogue Army. I don't see it being Taichi and Yuya Uemura, just five guys. I don't see that. I don't see Girls of Destiny, Hikuleo El Phantasmo. I don't see that. As pretty interesting as it would be to see Yuji Nagata, Minoru Suzuki, I don't think that's going to happen. Yoda Tsuji and Z, well, even though I have no idea who it's going to be, probably not. To be honest with you, I'm really kind of leaning towards Monster Sauce, to be honest with you. At least making it to the finals. I mean, it would be nice. I don't think Team CMLL is going to, but like I said, I think they'll still make a little bit of a splash. But I think realistically, I don't know. I still think Bishamon could run away with even this one and win the B block, to be honest with y'all. Just Bishamon is just way too strong of a team to take lightly. They'll be a contender. Even if they don't make it out of the B block, they will be a contender. So, but yeah, I'm going to pull for Bishamon. So, that's what I got. That's what I got. But, like I said, I'm looking so forward to this tournament. Like I said, Super Junior Tag League was all right. I mean, it was good to see that Catch 2-2-1, so I was really happy about that. So, but yeah, and as usual, whoever the winner is of this tournament will get their title shot at Wrestle Kingdom. But if the champions, which are Bishamon, if they win, then they get to call their shot. So we'll see what happens. I also wanted to mention the AEW Continental Classic, which this is really interesting. Really, really interesting that this even came up. But, yes, AEW has announced the AEW Continental Classic, which will be a 12-man round-robin tournament. So, it'll be 2 groups, 6 wrestlers in each group for a total of 12. So, I'm guessing, 2 groups as in 2 blocks. So, apparently, this tournament is supposed to last 6 weeks, and it will begin November 22nd on Dynamite. So that is next Wednesday. So pretty much 2 days after the World Tag League starts. The finals will be at the World's End pay-per-view on December 30th. And right now, the only competitor that has been announced for this tournament is the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. So, my guess is probably we'll get some more announcements of competitors on Dynamite tomorrow, and then probably the same on Rampage and Collision on Friday and Saturday. But they said matches will be held on episodes of Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. The semifinals will be on December 27th, Dynamite. And then the champion, the finals will be at World's End. So that's the rundown of this tournament. But like I said, Bryan Danielson's the only competitor that we know of that's been announced. But it'll be interesting to see how they do. AEW's doing their little mini G1 climax, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. But we're just pretty much waiting to hear what the other competitors, who the other competitors will be. But should be interesting. Anyway, that'll do it for this video. Don't forget to check out the link to Game Beauty in the description. Let me know what y'all's thoughts were on the 13th Goddess of Stardom Tag League. What'd you think of the tournament? How do you feel about Divine Kingdom being the winners? That's Micah and Megan Bain. The Stardom injury bug. Let me know your thoughts on that. And let me know what your thoughts are on the confirmed teams for the World Tag League 2023. Are you excited for that tournament? Are you excited for the AEW Continental Classic, which is another round-robin tournament? Tournament season still going strong. And, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed evening, and I will see y'all in the next video. Laters.